Hello everyone, happy Saturday, and once again it's a good day. Lots of fun in my studio this week. Lots of projects happening, and I'm feeling uber productive, and just it's just amazing. It's good stuff. So thank you guys for hanging out with me today. As always, we're starting to chat it up in the premiere. If you're listening to the video live right now and you're not in the premiere, come on in. You just kind of hit a link somewhere. I'm not quite sure how to do it, but come on in and chat it up with us. We have a good time over there. And also, what I love about the Premiere community is that you guys are getting to know each other in your regions. Many of you are starting to connect up. You know, you live in the same city. You're sharing art supply places. And it's really a good place to find people who are finding supplies and things that I use in your geographic area. And just even knowing someone else in the YouTube community that lives, you know, I find that many of you reach out to me and you guys live right around the corner from me or stuff like this. It's just like insane. One of the my followers has been following me for a while, who came to the Arizona workshop. She lives in Arizona. She literally lives 8 minutes from me. She did a pool party for everybody. We had a great get together, but just, you know, unbelievable. Like right 8 minutes from me, same neighborhood. I just love it. So you guys, come into the premiere. Yeah, I encourage you. If you're new to the channel, first time, come on in, say hello, introduce yourself, and make sure to subscribe, hit the bell, hit the one that says all. That way you get all the notifications, but you definitely get the premiere notifications. So when the video goes up, the premiere goes out, you get a ding on your phone, or I think maybe even on your email. Hit the premiere, hit set now or set it, and then it'll notify you right before the premiere goes up. And it's a great way to sort of remember, because I know sometimes I can forget things. And I set premieres on other people's channels because I don't want to miss the video, you know, and it works like a charm. I love it. So do that. Also right now, please hit the thumbs up, you know, that you like the video, you like what I'm doing, you're a part of this community. So hit that thumb up right now before we get started. I really appreciate it. And let's jump into this week's signatures. Oh my goodness. I had a lot of fun with this one. So as you can see, this is a gel plate transfer. And this is a transfer. I actually did this transfer in the workshop, and I had it laying there, and I liked this image. And I thought, wow, let me just go ahead and put her in the journal. I feel like is very, you know, she's very contemplative there, thinking. It's like the thinker, you know. I love it. I loved her posture and everything. So this is literally on tissue paper. So using black ink. Yeah, I used the black or Payne's gray. Let me look at this. I think this is Payne's gray. But I used the Blick Studio acrylic. And the paint you use does sort of matter with this technique. But I also have a workshop. I'll have the link below. It's called Grunge Photo Transfer. And I call it grunge so that even if your print isn't perfect, immaculate, doesn't come out great, I still show a lot of ways that you can use it in collaging and everything. It's not to be wasted. It's still a beautiful print. And that workshop is really inexpensive. And so yeah, I'll put that one below if you're interested in really kind of getting step-by-step on photo transfers. So I put her down because I loved this. And then I had already pulled out a lot of these papers that I was using in my other spreads, and I wanted to continue to use them. And I don't know, something about those chrysanthemums and then the, you know, the Asian scripting on this particular paper that I have. I just thought it was so appropriate to this whole like collage storyline. I don't know. I love them. I love chrysanthemums anyway, but I really like that down there. And this paper was nice and neutral, so everything is blending in beautifully. And then I came back and put some of this paper. This is I think this is called lace paper, maybe. I forget what it's called. I think it's lace paper. I get it from Blick. And it has this really bottom edge that's always sort of frayed. And I love using that bottom edge a lot in my collages as well. So I just thought that piece cut off and over the print just really gave it almost sort of like a window, like you're looking in through this sort of frame that was created with this bottom piece and that side piece. So I really enjoyed that. On this other page was more of the Asian scripting pages, and I didn't want to keep it full, but obviously I wanted the hint of it. You know, we can still see that. So I had some of the craft color tissue paper that I had done some staining on with Seth's 𝐈𝐧𝐭𝐲, and I think this one is the silver one. And the silver on that craft paper is the cool with the warm is such a good combination. And yet you can still, it still allows you to see below. You can see the prints and stuff from the image below. So I kind of put that on there. You see, I'm just putting it on it real random. I wanted to keep some of the paper. I didn't want it to look planned, like, because I originally had laid it out in strips. That's kind of crazy. So then I decided I wanted to lay it down just real random, almost to make it look like a piece of paper was laid down and just kind of torn, and just, you know, keeping a little bit of what was exposed underneath. So once I did that, I really liked it, but I felt like I wanted some scripting over top of it, just to kind of the balance out the black warm that I had over here. I wanted to do that here. So I did my graffiti. Now this is actually my graffiti text, which is why I turned it to the side. It's more, it goes this way, but it's interesting when it is this way, it still has that kind of Asian scripted look, but it's completely different from the one I normally do. This is more what I call graffiti, and you can sort of see the lines are more angular. They're not swirly and like, you see how this is more swirly, round, longer strokes, just a lot more sensuous. This is the scripting, but this one is way more angular, not hardly any circles or anything. And so that's what I call my graffiti. I have about 4 different styles of script. I'm pretty well known for this particular one, but I have several of them. And a lot of my scripting has just developed over time and over my desire in my artwork to like, I'll have different themes, and those themes, when I go to script, it's interestingly seems to create a different script. It's just, it's the most amazing thing about intuitive scripting. And I share that a lot in the 2.0 course that we've just finished, the masterclass. Many of you took that. And, you know, scripting really does have a mind of its own. It has its own sort of energetic space, and I know it's coming through me, so I know it's an extension of my own consciousness expressing itself. But yeah, I have at least 4 different scripts that I use throughout my work, and like I was saying, the one I'm most known for is the intuitive scripting that many of you know. But yeah, so this one is good. And then I later came back, I had a piece of linen. This is some black linen that I did a resist on, and there's just a piece of it left, and you can see a little bit of the scripting going on there. And I just thought that it added to this page. It gave a little bit of energy off the bottom, and I really liked, even when I turned the pages, to see that black below. I think acts as a frame for a number of the pages that otherwise wouldn't have been there. You know, I like that. So just think about the bottom of your page a lot too, and what you're, you know, kind of having off the edge of it. So this is nice and frayed, and I put that on with some of the PVA glue, just a strip of it. I tell you, it adheres it no problem. Most of this has been done with our glue stick, our pages. And I was using the Uhu a lot because honestly, I can't even find all my Ken Bromley. Can you believe that? And I have at least another 10 of them, and I just don't want to buy any more. But some kind of way, when I moved, I stuck them in the most precious spot so I can find it again, and I have no idea where they are. But the 𝐼𝐽𝐽's working beautifully. I use the 𝐽𝐽𝐽 for years. It's no big deal. I just find that heavier weight stuff works best with the Giotto, but then just like I put this down with the PVA because I knew that it needed something a little stronger. So yeah, you can use the two. All right, so there's the next signature. I love this one too. Well, you know me, I love them all. But so this page, I decided that this is another print that we've been working on. It's been a new style of printing, of gel printing that we've been working on in Patreon, using some different inks and techniques and what have you. But this was just an off print. And I mean, I love the black and white composition of it. And it's just the strength of the symbol. And it just has that, you know, that old world archaeological kind of found look to it. So I wanted to put that down, and I wanted some text. I used this sort of celery green. All of these came from Mulberry Papers. Patty gifted me, Patty Toley Parrish, who you guys know here on YouTube. And if you don't, go check her channel out. She's been around forever, Patty Toley Parrish. And she had sent me a bunch of these papers a few years ago, and I'm constantly still pulling off of them. But I think she said they came from Mulberry Papers. So if you're looking for papers like this, and also they have Mulberry Papers, I think has like a grab bag, and they're just cut off cuts. That's a good one to get too, because then you get a little bit of everything to kind of play around with. So I thought the subtle tone of the celery green worked well with the bold of the black and white. And I still had a little bit of green staining from the papers. So it's just a subtle picking up of the color. But I really like the idea of this large sort of ideogram above the smaller ones. So that worked nicely. And then over here, I wanted to keep the staining. I like that. But I also wanted to use this. I like this paper. We haven't used it for a while. I had this laying around. I thought, let me just go ahead and grab this. And so I made a pocket out of it. And the funny thing, if you notice, I was putting down what I thought was glue, but really white paint, because I have some of my 𝐼𝐽𝐽's white paint in the same tube. I mean, those squeeze bottles, but I have them marked. One says 𝐼𝐽𝐴, the other says PVA. For some reason, I thought I had picked up that one. And as I'm putting it down, I'm thinking, boy, this glue is looking awful white. And then I thought, did I pick up the paint? And then I even touched it, and it seemed like it was sticky. So I thought, oh, no. And I put it down. And as soon as I put it down, I could see it was smearing like the white paint. And I had to laugh to myself, honestly. So I just cleaned it off with a paper towel, wiped it all back and everything, and then used the PVA. So I thought that was a little fun blooper that happened in this process. But anyhow, I made a pocket out of it. This paper is nice and strong, so it made a good pocket. And I wanted to put something on top of the pocket, but I didn't want to lose the grid, the pattern of this paper. I just like the paper. So I didn't want to lose that. So I used a bit of this calligraphy paper, the yellow lined paper that I showed you guys before, that I had done some stamping when I was doing some testing of my stamps on it. And like I said, I use that stuff. So, you know, I rip bits and pieces of it and use it. And so here again, I think all of these patterns work really nicely with each other. And so putting this on top allowed me to add a thin layer of image, but not so much that we sort of lose the sort of the neutralness of this page. And the idea of it being a pocket was really appealing to me. I like the fact that it extended below the page. That was good. And yeah, so this was a very easy spread to do, these two. But I don't think I've lost anything in terms of complexity. So sometimes you know, you can do a lot to a page, you know, like some of these back here. And sometimes you don't have to do so much, and you don't necessarily lose any of the value of the story you're telling, the imagery. And because I picked something that really already started off telling the story, like this image, and then, so this is like a recognizable symbol or image along with the flowers. I think it really begins to tell a story visually that you don't need to do a whole lot on the page. And I like the way this symbol mirrors this image here. And in a lot of ways, this symbol that I created reminds me a lot of like almost like a body, the form, the goddess. A lot of these shapes would come up even in archaeological digs, the work of Marie Gombudas. And it would be this idea of the abstracted feminine form or the female form. And I cover this a lot when I work with in hearth codes or in some upcoming courses where we're going to go do a deep dive into symbology, and also helping you to create your own symbols. So this is one that I created in the inspiration of those ancient goddess sort of forms. So I think it's interesting that, you know, it's like, you know, we're sort of mirroring it, and it's also black and white, the sacred feminine. So that's an interesting note to make. And also when you're working with these images, it's like interesting to start seeing how these storylines develop and how this will come up in your work over and over again. So really pay attention to that and have fun with it. So I would say there we have it. Continue to think about, like we talked about last week, continue to think about color. How did that work out for you all? Please comment below the video when you went back through and looked at your spreads that you find a need for 10% color. What was your 10% color? Have you started going back and adding those to your pages? Do you feel that the book is working better for you now as a result of looking at your work like that? I'd be interested in you answering some of those questions below. Let me know how that's going and what you discovered. What were some of your aha moments around that? Because, you know, evaluating our work is a constant thing that we get to do as artists to go deeper, to tell our stories, you know, more efficiently. That's what Art Mythos is all about. It's about a visual vocabulary and having these visual dialogues that are successful. And to the extent that we spend time looking at our work, thinking about it, what else can I add? What else would tell my story? What is my story, right? You know, and so connecting to symbols, connecting to script, connecting to your own codexes are ways that will help you to begin to tell your stories in very significant ways. And it doesn't even matter if other people ask, well, if somebody could ask me, what does that mean? Oh, I'm happy to go into dialogue about what this means, because I get to share a story with them. I get to share a new perspective. I get to share ancient languages and ancient dialogues with them. So there's nothing wrong from someone saying, oh, what is that? I don't recognize that. Someone will look at this and recognize it right away, but they may not understand how you're using it. So maybe in them asking a question about this, it gives a chance to flip back to here and say, well, actually, this is a mirror reflection. And they'll probably go, okay, how is that a mirror reflection, Robin? Or, you know, whatever. And I get to explain to them, you know, this to me, I'm seeing the sacred divine goddess, the earth. And we're not talking gender here again. I'm talking about the sacred feminine. And that's like Mama Earth, right? That's the earth energy. And that energy nurtures us all. It's not a gender-based energy. Just like, you know, the natives will say father, son. It's not a gender-based thing. It's just talking about the thing that the sacred masculine, the divine masculine does. It protects. It, you know, it provides, you know, these type of ideals around energy is what we're talking about. So it's a wonderful opportunity to have dialogue around your work, to talk about how you see them as similar. Now, maybe the person may walk away and still say, well, I don't really see how those are the same. It doesn't matter. You know, it's just dialogue. It's just an opportunity to share something. And maybe down the road, 6 months from now, they'll see something else and they'll reflect back to that conversation you had with them. And they're like, oh, I get it now. Or that's similar to what that artist was talking about. Oh, okay. And you just open up new pathways to the way you think about the world around us, to how we describe and name that world around us and how we connect and identify with it. So yeah, just wanted to kind of share that and have you sort of think about that in your own your books as we're working through them. And let's see, we don't have that many pages left. Let's just see where we are. How about that? So this would be 1, 2. So this right here is another week. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 4. So I was right. So I kind of had it figured somewhere maybe around the end of September, maybe the beginning of October. We'll be finished with this. So we have 4 more weeks. It's about another month and she'll be done. And then we'll be on to some other really fun projects and things that I'm working on. Alrighty, well, hope you enjoyed it. Once again, hanging out together is always fun. The time we spent in our chat. Thank you for sharing that time with me. So let's see. Yeah, have a lot of fun in your studios. If you're new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button and hit the all bell so that you get all notifications. Once again, if you enjoyed the video, please thumb it up. It's a great way for other people to find the work that we do here and to share it out with the community at large. And yeah, until next week, so much love from my studio to yours, and happy creating. Take care, bye guys, love ya.